YouTube family, what is up? So in this video, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to show you how you can close one wholesale deal a month and how you can do it completely virtual. So if you enjoy this video and it does add value to you, be sure to boom, smash that thumbs up. And if you're new to the family, be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button and welcome to the family and let's rock and roll. So a lot of times, maybe you have closed 1 or 2 deals a year and you're kind of stuck, right? You're kind of stuck in that level where you're like, now, Kong, how can I start doing 1 deal a month? And I think it really all comes down to is volume, okay? One is volume. So let me explain to you what volume is. Okay, volume is that maybe you don't have enough leads into your pipeline. Okay, you don't have enough leads coming into your pipeline, and that is what's holding you back. So a lot of you, maybe you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 deals a year, and maybe a lot of times all you're doing is driving for dollars, all right? And you don't have enough leads into your funnel, okay? So what I do know, okay, hold on a second. So what I do know is that you need a lot of volume coming into the pipeline to start closing, one deal a month, okay? And a lot of you said volume. And a lot of you will like, Kong, how many leads should I have coming in a month? So I think that you need to have at least 10,000, okay? You need to have at least 10,000 leads, okay, that you can target every single month. And a lot of you be like, well, Kong, I don't know where can I get 10,000 leads? And when I say leads, it's basically we need to get a list. You need to have a list of targeted property. Okay, it has to be targeted. It can't just be like everything. Like it just can't be anything, because if it'll be anything, it'll cost you too much money, and it wastes too much time. Which means we want to narrow in on the lead, which is the list that we're targeting. So first off, let me show you how to increase your volume. Okay, comment down below and let me know, how do you have anything close to 10,000 leads coming into your pipeline? Like a list of people that you can target every month, at least 10,000. So let me show you. Here's the software that we use, okay, to get volume coming in. And we do about 60,000 or so. We target at least 60,000, okay? So we have a list of 60,000 people that we can target every single month. So comment in your city and your states. Let me show you, okay? Let me show you. Okay, let me show you how to get a list of 10,000 people that you can target every single month. So let me sign in here really quick. Let me log in. And then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'm going to show you guys exactly how we get the list and how you can do it all virtual, all from home. Okay, so we got Crystal said San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so this is how you can start closing 1 deal a month consistently. Volume. You need more leads into your pipeline, okay? So let me share my screen. So the software that we use, okay? Some of you may know, some of you might not know. It's called KingDataai. Okay? This is truly a one-stop shop. This is we go to get all of our distressed property lists, and it's off-market deals. So a lot of you're targeting on-market deal. You're competing with a bunch of other real estate investors. And I believe that in today's market, unlike 10 years ago, where there was a lot of deals on the MLS. I'm sorry, not 10 years ago, 7 to 8 years ago, back in 2008, 2009, 2010, there was a lot more deals on market. But nowadays, how you separate between you and another investor is you got to be able to find off-market deals. If you can deal directly with the homeowner and you're the only one who's talking to them, okay, your chance of getting that deal is way higher versus deal that are on the market. Because now you're competing with a bunch of investors. Okay, so here's what you do. Okay, so we got San Antonio, Texas. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go there. I'm going to sign up. Here's your dashboard. Here's what's going to look like. If you need more training video, you just click on training videos. It'll show you more about this. But this is truly a one-stop shop. This is where you go and track all your leads, keep everything organized. But right now, we're just going to talk about getting volume into your pipeline. So go to property leads. Okay, I should say, don't show me this again. Click this out. Okay, so right here, you're going to put on San Antonio. So put in your city and your states. San Antonio, Texas, right there. Okay. Now we're going to click on filter. Okay, because there's 527,000. Okay, so there's too much. We're going to remove apartment, remove others, remove townhouse. It is so easy. Okay, but you need volume. Okay, so now we're going to click on, let's just say absentee owner, people who don't live in the property. Okay, there's 105,000. Okay, which is way too much. So we need to narrow it down. We need to say, hey, the absentee owner, and we want them to be also be tax delinquents. So there's 22,000 people. Okay, so now the whole entire city, okay, of San Antonio, there's 22,000 people who are absent and in a tax default, tax delinquents. They owe property tax. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on, so let's just say that you can't list stack. This is called list stacking. Okay, but if you sign up for the basic plan, you can't not choose 2 lists at the same time. So it has to be a pro account. So the pro account, Crystal, is going to cost you $249 a month. It's a month-to-month. You can cancel anytime you want. But if you have the basic plan, here's what you can do. Let's just say that we just target absentee owner. You cannot list stack. Okay, you can only list stack if you have the pro account. So now we got 105. We click on results. Okay. Hold on. Go to filter. Now we're gonna go to hold on. Sellability score. Okay, and then now we're gonna put it in a wholesale score, which means it'll scale the property from 0 to 1,000. How likely these people will sell. Okay, so if you put in 500, you will see that this list will get smaller. So right here is perfect. We got a list of 9,000 people. Okay, Crystal, so there's a list of 9,000 people in San Antonio, Crystal, that are absentee owner. They don't live in the property. Okay, and then you can now, here's what I'm going to do, Crystal. For any one of you who sign up for the software today, I will pay for your skip tracing. So you never have to worry about paying for skip tracing ever again. Because skip tracing, it would have cost you 10 cents per address. So to skip trace 10,000 address, it would have cost you roughly about $1,000. You never have to pay for it again. And all you need to do, Crystal, is let's just say you click on this property. Bam. Right here, it'll tell you that this phone number is on the do not call list. So you don't want to call them. So here is a mobile that you can call is Tammy. It has all the information about the property right here. Okay, but you can now start calling the homeowner and start talking to them and start making your offer. I'm tired of being a broker. So Crystal, I have students. That is a realtor. And here's something that most realtors don't understand, Crystal, is why is you work so hard on getting that lead. Why would you only want to make between 3 to 6%? Why not make 10 to 20%? Because the average wholesale fee, Crystal, is right around 20 to 25,000. So imagine if you just do one of these a month, just one deal a month at $25,000. That's an extra $300,000 a year that you can add to your pipeline. And another mistake, Crystal, that most agent makes is that they don't know how to wholesale. So when they come across a distressed property with a motivated seller, maybe the seller the house is hoarder, right? It's nasty. They don't want to list it. So what happened is most realtor, what they do is that they run to the investor and they'll be like, hey, I got this homeowner here, right? They are motivated to sell. They don't want the property to be listed. Would you like to make an offer on it? So the investor makes an offer. The agent ran to the seller and said, hey, I got an offer for you. And let's just say that house, okay, got an offer accepted for $300,000. And you only make 3% of that. So 300,000 minus times 3%. So you make 9,000, okay, which is not bad. But why would you want to make 9,000, Crystal, when you can, instead of running to that instead of running to the seller or running to your investor and said, hey, you make an offer on this, you should have put that property on the contract, Crystal, for $300,000 and then wholesale it for $25,000 more, because you know that once they fix up the property, that property can sell for close to $500,000. Do you see what I'm saying? So most agents don't understand this. They don't understand wholesaling. And yes, you can wholesale as an agent. All you need to do is disclose with the seller and say, hey, I'm a realtor. I'm not representing you. I'm here representing myself as an investor who wants to buy the property. That's all you need to tell them. It needs to be in your contract, and you need to obviously let the seller know as well. And now, this is not financial advice, not legal advice. I'm just sharing with you what I have learned for the past 12 years, okay? I'm not an agent, but I have a student that is an agent, and they're still wholesaling and closing deals. So instead of making 3 to 6%, you need to focus on how can I maximize that lead and make 10 to 20% instead. Okay. So now that you know where I go and get that list, okay? Once again, anyone who signed up for the software, it's called KingDataai. As long as you have the software, unlimited skip tracing, I will pay for your skip tracing. So never have to pay for skip tracing again. I don't care if you sign up for the basic plan or the pro plan, it doesn't matter. As long as you have the software, I'll pay for it. So now that we talk about volume, okay, so now that you got volume coming in, okay, so the thing is you can target, hey, maybe this month you will target absentee owner. Next month you target tax delinquents. Next month you target people who's free and clear. So you just pull 10,000 lists every single month that you can target. And out of that 10,000, depending on how good you are on the phone, should get you one deal under contract. And like I said, one deal, if you can make $25,000 per deal, right? That's $300,000 a year that you can add on top of your income, okay? So now that you got the volume down, here's the next thing that you need to do that will take you from 1 to 2 to 3 deals a year to 1 wholesale deal a month, okay? Here's the next one. The next one is that you guys, I would say 99% of you don't have a follow-up system. You see, 60 to 70% of your deal come from follow-up. And a lot of you don't have a follow-up system. Usually you don't close the seller on the first call. It takes a couple calls to build the trust, okay, to build rapport, okay, and then follow up with them is how you close 60 to 70% of your deal. So a lot of you need, okay, a follow-up system. Crystal said, I need a script. Crystal, let me hook you up, okay? Let me hook you up with something, Crystal. So for those of you, if you want to get my King Kong seller script, I will turn you from a zero into a stone cold closer. And I do believe that majority of you are struggling closing your first deal or your next deal. Maybe you got lucky on the first one. It's because when you're on the phone with the seller, you don't know what to say. You don't know how to overcome the objection, and you don't know how to negotiate and actually close them. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do, Crystal. And I've been getting a lot of DMs about, you guys saying, hey, Kong, time are tough. Money's getting tight. So here's what I'm going to do, Crystal. One in a lifetime opportunity, okay? So all you need to do is go, I'll drop the link in my descriptions directly to the script. But if you just want to go to the site, okay? All you need to do is go to WTMFam.com, Crystal. And at the time of checkout, when you check out, Crystal, all you need to do is put in VIP 2025. Crystal, I usually only do this one time a year during Black Friday. I'll give you guys 50% off. So go to VIP 2025. So for those of you who gets to see this video, lucky you, okay? So at the time of checkout, Crystal, all you need to do is put into VIP and get the 50% off of the course, for the script, okay? Okay, so the next thing is a follow-up key, okay? And now a lot of you said, well, how often do you follow up? Depending on how motivated the seller, the conversation, yada, yada, yada. But typically I do a 15 days, okay, a 30 days, a 60 days, okay, and then a 90 days follow-up. But that lead should never, ever leave your pipeline. They either sell to you, or they sell to somebody else, okay? But that lead should never, ever leave your pipeline. Follow-up is the key. And when you follow up with them, don't just say, hey, you know, we chat last month about, you know, your interest selling. Like, when your follow-up could be like, hey, how's your, you know, hey, let's just say it's Easter, or let's just say it's some kind of a holiday. Okay, hey, just checking in, you know, just ask them, hey, how's everything going? I know last month we chat about this and that. You right, build the rapport, not just say, hey, do you want to sell today? Are you ready to sell now? You know, the follow-up could have been like, hey, I know last month we made you an offer of this, but hey, guess what? I was able to talk to my team manager. They were able to come up on price. So I got a new price for you that I think it might be really good for you, or that might work. The key is, how can you get them, spark some interest to get them back on the phone again and see how you can close them, okay? But the key is really following up, is building that rapport with them, you know, okay? So follow up, very, very important, you guys, okay? And then finally, number 3 is, when you want to start to close one deal a month, then it really comes down to, is like Crystal said, I think it's your sales skills. How good are you of selling your service and selling yourself to the seller, okay? So this is coming down to your negotiating. Okay, this comes down to your sales skills or your negotiating skills. When you're on the phone with the seller, it's truly the only thing that separates between a successful real estate investor and a non-successful real estate investor. Because a lot of times, a lot of you, when you get on the phone, you don't know what to say. Okay, you don't have to negotiate. You don't have to overcome the objection like, hey, I want to think about it. Hey, you know, I'm not ready. You know, all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, so you need to be able to like know how to understand psychologies. Also understand, hey, how can I overcome that and get into the door and close the seller? Because a lot of times, some of them will be like, yeah, you know what? For example, let me tell you guys this. Let's just say a seller said, hey, I want to think about it. How do you overcome that? Majority of you will be like, okay, no problem. I'll check back with you in a week. Is that okay? Or I'll check back with you in a month. No, how you overcome that? Or hey, how about I call you tomorrow then? Go ahead and think about it. When they say that and you don't know how to overcome that, you're going to lose out on the deal. And that's what happened to me 7 years ago. I lost on a deal. That deal cost me $50,000. That lesson cost me $50,000. Me and the seller were $1,000 apart. And I couldn't close them because they said that they want to think about it. So here is how you overcome that, like a badass. So typically when a seller said that they want to think about it, 9 out of 10, 99% of the time, 99% of the time, it is the price. But here's how we're going to box them in. I'm going to be like, okay, let's just say Crystal is the seller. I'll be like, Crystal, absolutely. I understand that this is a big move for you, but you want to think about it. And I want to help you make the best decisions possible for you. But let me ask you, Crystal, what is it that you want to think about? Is it the process that you worry about? Because I understand that you don't do this on a daily basis like we do. So that could be an issue. Is it me? Did I say something that upsets you or, you know, or offended you? Or is it the price? You want to flow, but you want to make it so it's really flow. Or is it the price? And 9 out of 10, the Crystal would say, no, it's not you. It's the price. It's just too low. Then now you got the objection. You're going to come in and you're going to lock them in by saying, I understand, Crystal. I understand that you want 100,000 and we're at 90,000. And I understand 90,000 is too low for you. So let me ask you, Crystal, where do you think that we need to be in price for us to move forward to get this done today? That, my friend, is how you overcome that objection like a boss. Now the seller, now you get the objection. You understand it's the price. You're at 90, seller's at 100,000. Now you said, hey, where do we need to be? So now you're like, hey, here's the ball. You tell me. Instead of you the one who telling them, they're going to now the one who said, hey, you know what? Well, yeah, 90's not going to work. Could you guys do 95,000? Now they drop 5,000 because they're thinking about, hey, meeting in the middle. But now the middle to you would be 95 to 90,000. So you'll be like, hey, and then you come back and you'll be like, hey, Crystal, I appreciate you coming down 5, but it's probably still a little too high for us. I mean, what if we split that? Right? What if I can get my partner or my team manager to split the cost and we'll go 92.5, something like that, or 93, whatever it is. And that, my friend, is how you close them. But then you're gonna be like, hey, Crystal, if I can get my team manager or my finance department or my partner to come up to 92,500, we split the difference. Are you ready to move forward to get the paperwork done and sell us your property? Bam! That right there, my friend, is a badass closing statement right there. See, you wouldn't know how to do that if you were not here. And I will share with you some of the most badass comeback, overcome objection, negotiating in my script. Like I used that exact script to train my VA up. They're from the Philippines, have no real estate experience, have no sale experience. So I know if they can do it, you can do it too. Okay? So let me share with you. So that's kind of how, like, okay, so 3 is negotiating. Because a lot of times, majority of you, you're trying to get lucky. Okay? But majority of you would give up before you got lucky again. So you might have got lucky closing your first deal. But how can you do it more consistently? 3 things, right? 1 is volume. 2, okay, is follow-up. 3 is being able to get on the phone and knowing how to talk, communicate, and negotiate like a badass. That 3 combination, my friend, will start getting you to close 1 deal a month. Okay? Now I'm going to start opening up for a Q&A. So any question you got, drop it in the comment, because a lot of you already know where to find the buyers and all of that. So just in case, Crystal, I'm going to show you one more thing, Crystal, that is going to blow you away. Okay? That's going to blow you away. Hold on a second. Let me add this to the screen. Okay, let me move back. Get rid of that. Let me go back. Hold on a second. Let's go. Okay, hold on. Back. Crystal, do you see this here in blue? Okay, you see this? There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6. You see all that, Crystal? So currently right now, Crystal, in San Antonio, Texas, there are people who has a property under contract. That's why this is a wholesale deal. There are people who have these property. There's 6 property under contract right now with another wholesaler. And all you need to do is, Crystal, if you have access to the software, you just click on contact seller, which is that wholesaler. And guess what you can do? You can start JVing deal with them. So imagine, even if you JV 1 deal a month, 1 deal a month, just by having access to the software. So you pay $149 for the software, $149 a month. Okay, it's up to you. And you can go on there, pull your own list. You can skip trace for free. And you also can JV deal. So there's 6 property under contract right now with a wholesaler. And all you need to do is, Crystal, reach out to them, click on contact seller, has all the information there. You'd be like, hey, I saw your property here. Love to JV it. Love to send this out to my buyer. Especially you're an agent, Crystal. You probably have buyers in your pocket that you'd be like, hey, I love to send this deal out to my buyers. So what happened with JV deal, Crystal, is if they were to make $20,000 on that wholesale deal, Crystal, you bring a buyer. Do not tell them that you want a commission. Okay? Get rid of the realtor commission, Crystal. You just call them and say, hey, I love to JV this deal with you. I got a lot of buyer in my pocket. I love to send this deal out to them. You bring a buyer. It's a 50-50 split. So if they're going to make $20,000 on that deal, you make $10,000 instead of making $3,000 on a 3% commission. Okay? It's better that way. Can I bring the end buyer? Yes, Crystal. That's how JV works. JV means that they got a deal on the contract, Crystal. You bring them the buyer, but don't get the 3% commission. Okay, don't get the 3 to 5% commission. That's baby money. You tell them that you bring a deal, you want a JV, you want to do the 50-50 split. So if they were to make 20,000, imagine if they were going to make 30,000 on that deal, you make 15K just by having access to the software. And like I said, if you just do this once a month, this is pennies. The 149 is just an investment into a software that you can leverage to do so many things to make you extra money. And a lot of you, I know some of you, were complaining about the 149, but you don't understand that by not investing the 149, you're losing out on opportunity to make 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month, etc. It's the cost of running a business. Okay, it's the cost of making money. Okay, scared money don't make any money. And a lot of times, I don't know about you, but one trip to Costco, 4 items, cost you more than 149. One dinner costs you more than 149. And it doesn't pay you anything in return. Okay, and and a lot of times your mindset is what's really holding you back from taking your life from where it is to where you want it to be. Okay? So, Victor HP said, I found a realtor in my leads, but I don't know how to work with them. Victor, I don't know what you mean by you found a realtor in your leads and you don't know how to work with them. All you need to do is, Victor, reach out to them and say, hey, my name is Victor, all right, or Victory, or whatever your name is. Hey, I just found you. I saw you have a deal here, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I love to work with you on this. How can we work together? That's it, dude. Listen, everybody wants to make money. And everybody wants to know what is in it for them. Everybody wants to know that. What is in it for me? Okay? And if you can let them know what's in it for them, it's game over. How can we make it a win-win? You make money, I make money, everybody wins. If you can do that, my friend, they don't care how you dress. They don't care what kind of car you drive. Okay? So, any other question? Any other question? Okay. Now, I also want to throw this out there as well. For those of you who's like, hey, Colin, I've watched a bunch of YouTube video. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts. I've tried to do it alone myself. I'm trying to puzzle everything together, but I'm still having a tough time either closing my first deal or, hey, Colin, I've closed 1 deal or 2 deals, but I haven't closed another deal in a long time. And I want to start doing it more consistently. Okay, so whether you're new or you're experienced and you're looking for not a course, but if you're looking for like a mentorship, right? If you want to work with me and my team, I'm happy to work with you. All you need to do is go to coachwithkong.com. Fill out the application, book a call with my team, get on the phone with them. We at least tell you exactly what your move you need to make to start doing it, okay? Book a strategy session call with my team, okay? They will help you out somewhat, okay? Hey, Con, can you explain what's in the step-by-step course that is about $500? So $500, okay? So in the step-by-step course, it's like I'm telling you what ingredients you should buy to cook up the pot that you want. And then you obviously do it all alone. You go to the store, you buy it, and all of that. Okay? So in the step-by-step courses, I'll break it down. I'll tell you, here's what to do. Day 1, day 2, like here's what all you need to do. Okay? It's laying out step by step by step by step. And then you just take it and then you run with it and you do it on your own. Right? But I'll tell you exactly what to do in it. Step by step. So you don't have to go through all the bunch of YouTube video trying to puzzle everything together, because I'll show you how to do it in there. Okay? And like I said, for those of you who grab the course and you use the promo code, I'm hooking you up. Just go VIP 2025. I'll hook you up with a 50% off. And typically I only do that on Black Friday. But like I said, I know a lot of you said, hey, Kong, things are getting tight right now. I don't have a lot of money, yada, 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 but I do want to get into the game. But there you go. Okay? Victory said, I thought it was $1,000. No, the $1,000 is it's basically the playbook. The $1,000 is probably, you're talking about the one that has the course or the step-by-step, and it also has the script. Okay? And it also has a marketing piece with it as well. Okay, so let me see here. The profits that I've closed, I've closed 2 deals so far. This is my current goal is 1 deal a month. Let's rock and roll, baby. So if you rewatch the video, I'll show you exactly already how to start doing it 1 deal a month, okay? Any other question, fam? Any other question? Oh, once again, guys, the exact same software is the software that we use to also find our buyer. You can also mark, let's just say you got a deal under contract. You can go onto the software just like the people did here. You can market your deal on there to over 200,000 buyers nationwide. And by having access to the software, you can literally just sit from home. You can go into any city, any states, pull a list, boom, start pounding the phone. No, you never have to pay for skip tracing again. Okay, and then just start calling, dialing, and making offer. Real estate is a numbers game, but it's beyond just a numbers game. It's like, how can I get a list that I can target? Okay, a good list. The question is, what can I do to build up courage to accept rejection? It's get more of it. Like when you get on the call, one is treat it like a game. Okay, when you first get on the call, just treat it like a game and just expect to get rejected. Expect to get punched in the face. Expect to get screamed at. Expect to get hung up on. Expect to get cussed at. And I promise you, after 20, 30 times of F you, don't call me anymore, you'll be like, okay, this is nothing. Okay, so a lot of times you're standing here and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can jump over that. I'm afraid to fall. I'm afraid that I'll get hurt. But once you try it and then you jump over, okay, and maybe you trip and you're like, oh man, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it did. Okay, and then bam, you do it again and again and again, and eventually you will jump over like no problem. So for me, is that when I got into real estate, I didn't really care about the objections or I didn't care about, you know, getting swear at, cuss at, or getting rejected. It's because I was working in the mall selling hair extension. So I had to ask people, and I was getting rejected over and over. But the first time I got rejected, dude, it was very, very painful. Very painful. It was hard to swallow. But like I said, after a couple times, you'd be like, dude, this is so normal. And I think a lot of people is that when you first start out to overcome, I just feel like you just need to treat it like a game. Expect to get rejected. It's okay. You're not going to die. You know? Nothing is going to happen. When you realize nothing is going to happen, you have more confidence to call and call and call and call. And my mentor used to tell me, he said, Kong, what are you worried about? Right? Are you worried about losing out on a deal that can make you $25,000? Or are you worrying about getting rejected? Which one is it? That's exactly what he said. He said, are you worried about losing out on a possible phone call that you can make $25,000? Or are you worried about people rejecting you? Which is more important to you? And I said, I obviously it's the money. So he said, so get your shit straight. Focus on what matters. What matters, Kong, is you need to make those calls. Because without making those calls, you're not going to get to the money. So he said, focus on what matters. And like I said, expect to get rejected. And after a few times, 20, 30 times, you will be, dude, it becomes so normal to you. I remember when I first got on social media, it was the same thing, right? My first bad comment, it was like, oh, I hate this guy, or I don't like this guy. Oh, his information is trash, or he's a copycat, or whatever it is, right? And my heart would just sunk. Oh, I was like, oh, this hurt. But after a while, I'll be like, okay, come on, man, bring it, baby, bring it. Now I love reading the hate comments. And honestly, I don't look at it like a hate comment, but I really enjoy it. All right, I do really like to read those comments. Some of them are very, very funny to me. So anyways, guys, repetition, right? Do it again and again and again and again, and that's how you're going to get better. That's how you're going to get better over time. When I first started, 12 years ago, I was just like some of you. I didn't know what to say when I get on the phone. I was scared, same thing, right? I was everything that you're going through right now, I was once there. Okay? But I did it anyway. Because I focus on what matters. What matters is that, dude, you need to get out of I need to get out of my comfort zone. I need to step into something, okay, new. Because if you want something you never had, you must be willing to do things you have never done. And when you try and do things you have never done, it's going to get uncomfortable. It's going to get scary. The reason why you're scared is because you don't know what the outcome is. That's why. Okay? But I wanted something new. So so you have to try something new. So you want something you never had. You must be willing to do things you have never done. Because if you continue to do the same thing, you will continue to get the same results. And that's why most people, it's hard for them to get to the top 1 to 3%, is because they're so comfortable with where they're at. And when they try something new and when it gets a little hard, they just retreat. They come back to what they know. And they continue to be in that circle, that rat race, right? Running that treadmill. Okay? I appreciate each and every single one of you that's here. Once again, I wish you nothing but the best. I want to see every single one of you guys win. But I also want you to understand that knowledge without execution is worthless. Nothing works if you don't. Dreams don't work unless you do. And no one can ever guarantee your success except for you. You, my friend, will have to be your own cheerleader. You will have to be the one who gets yourself motivated and excited to go after your goals and your dreams, even though you get punched in the face over and over and over and over again. It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you can get back up and continue to pursue your dreams and your goal. That's when you know how bad you want it. Okay, because most people say that they want it, but when they come across a speed bump, then they give up. It just shows that you don't want it as bad as you say you do. I want you guys to understand that there is no shortcut to success. Every single time when you try to take a shortcut, it actually pushes you back even further. Okay? So all you need to do is put in the work, lock in, and stay committed and be consistent with your action. That's all it is. There's nothing else. There is no secret sauce. You have already learned what you need to learn. Now you just need to go execute on that information and stay committed and be consistent at it. Once again, I appreciate each and every single one of you that are here. I truly hope that this video does add some value to you. And if it does, show your boy King Kong some love. Boom, smash the thumbs up. If you're new to the family, be sure to, boom, smash that subscribe button. Until next time, you guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you. And let's go get this money. I'm out.